be working or with pay leave. They shouldn't, because they're murderers. They killed my nephew, Victor Jomar Perez Alicea. I don't care what they think. They ruined our life forever.
A series of vigils today after a teen shot by Pocatello police dies. Good evening and welcome to Local News 8. Tonight, our community is mourning the loss of the autistic teenager who was shot by police 1 week ago today. Our Doug Long and Linda Larson spent all day in Pocatello. They're here now. Doug, Linda, so much going on today.
There was so much going on today, Will, and it was a very emotional day in Pocatello.
A lot of activities were going on at several locations all day long.
It started at 9 this morning at the Portneuf Medical Center with a candlelight vigil just before Victor's family took him off life support. A crowd of over 200 quietly sang, said prayers, and consoled each other as Victor peacefully passed away. People at a second candlelight vigil at Victor's home tonight, a more intimate crowd gathered bringing flowers and voicing their support for the family. Victor's aunt Ana Vasquez spoke out during that second vigil tonight. Here's what she had to say.
They need to give more training to the officers to deal with this type of situation. They just come based on a call, because that's what they did. They didn't even ask us what was the situation. They just react and they shoot to kill. They took 9 bullets out of my nephew. 9 bullets. Couple surgeries. And they amputate a leg. And it's something that is gonna be in my head for the rest of my life.
Anna talked for several minutes to about 75 supporters that were gathered around the home where Victor was shot. As you can see, she was extremely emotional as she talked to the crowd. The fence that separated Victor from the police today was turned into a wall of flowers, and candles lined the streets. This afternoon, hundreds of Victor supporters lined Yellowstone Avenue as well in front of the police station.
Yeah, they waved signs, chanted slogans, waved at honking traffic. But one protester I met had a message for both law enforcement and the community.
I'm here to ask the mayor to make sure that those officers, when they go out, they're trained properly so our children are safe. And, you know, I want those officers and their families to know that you have a community behind you too. We know that you serve us and you're out here trying your best. And we just want the best for our community. It's a time for change.
As we were covering the protest, people started noticing and pointing to 2 figures on top of one of the buildings.
Now, the building was adjacent to the city hall and the police station, and there, several individuals could be seen on top of the roof holding what appeared to be a long gun. Kristen Simone's son was a victim of a police shooting by Pocatello police in 2019. She saw the snipers and walked up to the doors of the police department where she asked why they were there.
There's officers around and surrounding and watching, so there are several officers out there. Okay.
And you've been doing this every protest, been having snipers on the building?
I don't know. This is our first protest we've had in the box, so I don't know.
Is this normal protocol for you?
For today it is, yes.
Now, the city addressed the need for those snipers. According to a press release, they said that the deployment of officers was a precautionary measure that was taken in response to a credible threat communicated to the Pocatello Police Department by the FBI.
Now, the FBI informed PPD of 1 or more individuals with a known interest in targeting law enforcement officers who were believed to be in the area or near the area at the protest at City Hall. The statement continues. In light of this information, PPD implemented an elevated security posture, which included positioning trained officers at strategic vantage points. Michael has been following this closely since it started. In fact, he's been putting these maps together that have helped us get a really good idea of where that fire is, how it's grown, and the direction it's moving. And right now, the winds are moving in a favorable direction. But Michael, We know that that can change very quickly, especially with the weather situation out there and thunderstorms on the horizon. Let us know what you expect to see and what could happen with that fire if things do change dramatically.
Yeah, Doug, so here's the concern. Let's take a look here at the Idaho Farm Bureau Skycam behind me. This is the City Creek subdivision. This is the area of evacuation and the fire getting very close to this. We've seen this fire get a little bit thinner, but now it's starting to get back into some thicker brush, and we've been noticing some thicker plumes of dark smoke as more trees are going up here. This fire starting, and we were on the air a couple of times this afternoon, and we saw this thing just grow, and it was growing very quickly. The winds are actually favorable right now. They're coming out of the northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, and occasionally we've been getting those wind gusts up to about 15 miles an hour. Now, this is the latest stat from the Pocatello Airport. There's also another weather station that's close by that's matching this. The humidity is at a pretty dry 18%. And right now, the winds are staying fairly light. But here's my concern. We have a cold front coming in here for tomorrow. It's going to get very windy. After sunset tonight, the winds are changing direction. And we're going to start seeing more wind out of the southwest tonight. The winds will start picking up overnight into Friday morning. And that is where I'm concerned, because then the fire is getting pushed back towards Pocatello.
There's a nationwide shortage of police officers, that they're very hard to even get a candidate pool. And once you get the candidate pool, the vetting process is very difficult.
There's only one position to replace, and that's a police chief. And I already have somebody in mind.
The 2025 Liberty on Parade had everything. It had dogs, horses, dancing cows, marching bands, newsies, Miss Idaho, axe throwers, George Washington, and much, much more.
I even see, this is, I told the Scone girls to cut, see, and then they go from one clown to the other. Hey, wow, look at this guy. Look at this guy. This is a patch job here. Yeah.
You do not have to be afraid of real clowns.
No, clowns are great. Hey, good afternoon, sir. You're on television right now.
Well, I love being on TV.
How does it feel to you? By the way, those are my scones that I ordered. We're going to share. They got distracted by the guy with the big nose.
Can we eat on air?
Yeah, we can eat on air.
Clowns steal.
See, whatever.
Clowns just take whatever they want. You know, you dress like this, folks, you can get into fare for free. Oh, this is cinnamon butter, isn't it? Here you go. Try that. That is delicious. Whoa, this is a great fare.
Well, the Idaho Falls Spud Kings are bringing home the Dineen Cup.
Yeah.
That's right. They won the National Collegiate Development Conference Championship, and Will Sislo is live in Wayne, New Jersey now to show us how that victory happened. Will, how'd it go?
Yeah, well, guys, you know, like you said, they've finally done it, their first Dineen Cup championship in their 3 years of existence. It was quite the game, it was quite the ride, but let's go ahead and take a look at how tonight unfolded. A rematch of Game 1 in the Dineen Cup playoffs. Now, for the Spuds, it's simple. Win one more game and hoist the Dineen Cup. If South Shore wins, it's a winner-take-all on Tuesday. And in the first period, the Spuds got right to work. Just 2 minutes in, it's Owen Byer who nets his first of the playoffs in a huge moment to take a 1-0 lead. 9 minutes later, Easton Edwards scored, and just like that, Idaho Falls had a 2-0 lead in the first period, beating goaltender Bo Lane, something they didn't do in Game 1 until overtime.